I have been thinking a lot about this blog and what's going to make it relevant and salient. And you could say to me, well, Christopher, you probably should have started this blog 10 years ago and worked on it along, and then it really would be relevant. Don't say that. People watch things or listen to people who have done things that they have never done, wouldn't do, and probably shouldn't do, even if they're thinking of doing them. An example of this in a writ large manner is, of course, Alex Honnold, the free solo climber. They made a documentary about this. It won an Oscar. Now, what free soloing is rock climbing without protection. And when I say protection, I do not mean neon pink knee pads for a tween rollerblader. I mean basic ropes that keep you from falling to your death. I have sat through so many unwatchable films. Like, I went to the theater and bought a ticket to sit through these things. Sat through Godard's Histoire du Cinéma. And finally left when Godard had his daughter perform homage soliloquies in French to English-speaking American noir films in the kitchen with the kitchen shelf with the bottle of Nutella and instant coffee visible behind her. I, too, have done something that you probably will not do, are thinking about doing, and shouldn't do. And that is watch Celine and Julie go boating.
Mais qu'est-ce que tu fous? Qu'est-ce qui te prend, merde?
Rien. Je me souviens de rien, je suis incapable de quoi que ce soit. Fraude de première classe. Petit slip.
Écoute, moi, je bite que dalle à ton cirque, là, hein? T'as un trou de mémoire, c'est tout. T'as été choqué?
So, you may look at these samples and think, all this is like these women talking randomly. Yes, that's all it is. Just like there are people telling you to free solo, there are people telling you to watch this movie.
Juliette Berthaud and Dominique Labourier are Celine and Julie, respectively an illusionist and a librarian.
Like it matters. This isn't Paul Newman in The Verdict. This is not Sally Field as a factory worker in Norma Ray.
On one level, it's a story about the authors becoming the audience. On another, it's a playful discourse about reality and illusion, a self-reflexive look at the phantasmagorial nature of cinema itself. The intertwining narrative mixes elements of Lewis Carroll, Proust, and Henry James.
If you thought the last guy was pretentious, let me tell you that was a vegan carob chip cookie compared to the Paula Deen ooey gooey butter cake that is about to come your way.
Of all the directors who emerged from the French New Wave, Jacques Rivette is the most elusive and enigmatic, and some have argued the most consistently innovative. He's never been a media figure or a counterculture hero like Jean-Luc Godard. He's never had mainstream hits like François Truffaut or Claude Chabrol. He's never even been part of that well-loved mainstream art house canon like Éric Rohmer.
He sits around and explains and celebrates this man's lack of success in mediocrity compared to Godard and Truffaut. Well, Duh! I mean, we can sit around and talk about Pia Zadora's lack of success compared to Meryl Streep.
I come to stay with you. Keep you from being lonely.
A man of honor. Doesn't it shame you just a little bit to go making up to every single man you meet?
What's to be ashamed of?
And a woman with none.
You may be saying to me, Christopher, why does this matter? Well, this is where I did the additional thinking that makes this mind-blowing in the way that the Da Vinci Code would be mind-blowing if it didn't suck. And that's the math. Let's do the math. And before we get Da Vinci Code mind-blown, Dan Brown here is going to unveil for you what may be the most important factor. And that is Celine and Julie Go Boating is 3 hours and 13 minutes. That is 3 minutes longer than 1983's Oscar-winning film Gandhi. So the entire Indian Revolution and independence takes less time than 2 women flitting around Paris in an effort to show meta storytelling. Now, the math. Mark Carmold's film about this on YouTube has been seen 11,400 times. Jonathan Romney's 2,200 times. If you take that number, multiply it by 181, then divide the number by 4. Because let's assume 25% of the people privileged, bored, and pretentious enough to sit through this critique, only a quarter of them will subject themselves to Celine and Julie Go Boating and think it's good because they're smarter than you. That still gets us to 622,200 minutes. That is the unbearable song from Rent plus 97,000 minutes. One thing I would like to say that is commonly discussed in these videos that I have mentioned and in other articles that I have read about this pointless film, that I actually went out and bought a VCR from Goodwill to watch, is that it is film theory in action. Well, no, it's not. If someone can recreate a film during COVID lockdown with their own children in 5 minutes and it be a perfect recreation, that is a film that fails in actualizing cinema theory. Making a movie that is less stimulating than Playboy for men who are a 6 on the Kinsey scale.
Get ready for action.
Roll 18, scene 1, take 18.
It's the all-new Private Pleasures video.
Wow.
Free with your paid subscription to Playboy magazine.
And let's not get me started on Playboy. I hate Playboy. It's so stupid and sexist. The idea that men are just looking at pictorials inside a stylish magazine. Excuse me, are you whacking off today? Oh, no. I'm just looking.